one of the other materials that we have for the course is a lecture notes course pack that they purchase and bring to class. These notes are not the full material, not everything filled in, but partially filled in. And also I was able to receive the okay from the author of the textbook to be able to use some of her PDF files to put in some actual examples from the text into the lecture notes so that they see that connection between the lecture and the text. A definition will be there for them, so they don't have to write out the definition when we describe it or talk about it in class. The graph that they need to look at for that data will be there for them, so they don't have to spend the time trying to draw the graph that I'm showing them up front. Their lecture notes are exactly what I have when I come to class in my tablet in a PowerPoint form, so that they have in front of them the exact template to start with. And then we work together to fill in the material, to try out an example and answer that question. So the question's there, they don't have to write that question down, but then we can discuss and think about how to answer, let them try to answer. I will then pen in the answer with them as we discuss it and go through it. So they are completing their notes. They're able to still take notes along the way, but they don't have to write all the time. So their attention is not going to be always split between always writing everything I'm saying or going through, because they already have a template in front of them. So it allows me to still be interactive. I'm not just clicking in the answer for them. I'm actually still writing, or I'm highlighting in the graph and drawing the curve that they would also draw in their notes to say this is how we can see that shape. And so it allows me to show them how I would look at the problem and how I would go through it, and then they can tailor that in their notes too as they're taking their notes along the way. We also could capture the slides and how they've been annotated, so that if that needs to be posted or available for students, they can use that as a review afterwards. And I think it's just really wonderful to be able to have interaction, that you don't just provide them the full slides, but they actually do have to still discover, still try. I mean, it can have a problem posed there just like it would be on an exam, and say, okay, you take 3 or 4 minutes in class now and try it out. And then the talking will start, and they'll work with their neighbors. And then we can gather back together and go through it. And maybe if they had one idea that was wrong, they can correct it right there. But they still are forced to try to use what they've just learned again in the class. And I give them the template and structure so that it's not difficult to get to that point, but it gets there really quite easily by having the lecture note format that we use.